Doma Sports Talk worldwide. Hey y'all, let's talk tennis. Let's talk tennis. We got a new number one in the world of men's tennis, and his name is Andy Murray. Congratulations, Andy Murray, mate. Congratulations. Andy Murray is the new world number one tennis player. And this is a big, significant feat, given which era he's made it in, right? Andy Murray's 29 years old. He's from England. You know, we better narrow it down. He's from Scotland. Now, this is significant because England has never had a number one since they've been doing the rankings. They've been doing the rankings since 1973, and they've never had a men's number one. Now, I'm sorry, too bad, man. Tim Henman, I know you had game, homeboy. Tim Henman, wherever you are, you're awesome too. You just had Pete Sampras in the way, But Andy Murray, new number one from Britain, who's never had one before, which is really awesome. Andy Murray was also the first Brit to win the Wimbledon tournament a year and a half ago, right? So he's been doing his work. Now, the other reason this is very significant is because of the players in his era, right? The players. I'm going to just name some names. I don't know if you guys are tennis fans or not, but the tennis fans going to know who I'm talking about. The best player in tennis history, his name is Roger Federer from Switzerland. He has won 17 Grand Slam tournaments. For those that don't know what Grand Slam tournaments are, those are the four most important tournaments of the year. They mean everything to these tennis players. He has won 17 Grand Slam tournaments in this era. Hey, and just to put it in perspective, you've heard the name Pete Sampras. He's second with 14, right? And Roger Federer has won tennis tournaments on every surface. The slow surface clay, right? Not to mention he made about 4 finals in the French Open, but we'll get to the reason why he couldn't win those in a minute. But he was to finals, which means he was pretty much a great player on clay as well. He won on cement or hard court, whatever you want to call it. And he won Wimbledon 7 times on grass, which is the fastest surface. So he won on every surface. Best player in the history of the game is playing right now as we speak. If you've missed that, you're missing something. Okay? The man can play. He's going to be playing about another 2 or 3 years. You better hurry up and catch him. I had the privilege of seeing the man play live. And, the man's just great. So Roger Federer is in the era where Andy Murray just became number one. He had to get past this guy. Another guy he had to get past, Rafael Nadal. Okay? In this era, Rafael Nadal can't only be but about 30, 31. He's in this era, right? Rafael Nadal is acknowledged as the best clay court player of all time. And I'm not saying all these all times. I'm not saying go do your research. I'm not saying all time just to be saying it for this damn video. The best clay court player of all time. Proof? 9 French Open titles. 9. Okay, I don't know who's second. Maybe Bjorn Borg with 6 or something like that. 9 Grand Slam French Open titles for Rafael Nadal. Right? You're not beating him on clay when he was, in his prime, so to speak. He's probably coming towards the end, the twilight right now. And that's because of the way he plays. The way he plays is going to take a toll on your body because he's going to bring every ball back, right? So he has 9 French Open titles and 12 Grand Slam titles total in this era. So we just had a guy with 17. We have another guy with 12 in this era, right? So much props to Rafael Nadal. Now you got the person that Andy Murray just passed, Novak Djokovic. This is pretty much what I've said about the others. The same superlatives, the same adjectives I use for the others. Novak Djokovic, it's just awesome. He's awesome. He's been dominated for the last maybe year and a half or 2. Dominating. What I mean by that is probably winning 95% of the tournaments he's entered. I think he's up to 12 Grand Slam tournaments as well. He's up to 12 Grand Slam tournaments as well. And his domination is probably one of the reasons why he's not number one as of this week. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. The ranking system, the way they do the rankings for people that don't really know. When you win a tournament one year, right? You win that tournament. The next year you come, you have to defend those points, which means if you lose in the final, you lose points, even though you lost in the final. In the semifinal, you lose more points and so forth, right? Etc. So what if you won a tournament one year and you came back and you lost in the second round? You're going to lose a whole lot of points. Now, Djokovic won damn near everything he entered in. So that means he was going the whole year 2016 defending points. So, a person that's doing their job, handling their business, winning tournaments, getting the finals, they're going to be closing that gap in that year. So, Novak Djokovic, this is, let's be real. This thing from Andy Murray could possibly be short-lived. I'll tell you why. And why is because they're going to the ATP finals in London in about a week or two, if I'm not mistaken, but very soon. And the ATP finals is so that you got 8 players, the best 8 of the year. They meet for a round-robin tournament. And how they do it, they put them in 2 groups of 4. This year, they're going to be called the John McEnroe and the Ivan Lendl groups, which I think is pretty cool because I'm a McEnroe fan, right? So I'm going for McEnroe's group. I don't care who's in there. McEnroe's group. McEnroe forever, homie. I love you. Anyway, so they play 4 in this group, 4 in that group, and they play each other, right? Everybody plays each other. And at the end, the 2 top for each group play each other in the semifinal. The one in group 1 or the John McEnroe player will play against number 2 in group 2, the Ivan Lendl in semifinals, and then they play the finals. So the point being, if Djokovic were to win the ATP finals in London, he would be number 1 again, which would make Andy Murray's reign very short-lived, right? So let's celebrate Andy Murray being diligent, resilient, and just an awesome tennis player. Believe me, if you haven't seen Andy Murray, he's very awesome. He's the best counter puncher in the game. He's very smart. It's not all power with him. He brings it. He brings power sometimes, touch sometimes. He can get balls. He can get them all. He makes you make that one extra hit, similar to Rafael Nadal and Djokovic, for that matter. They're very good movers, all of them. Even Roger Federer is a good mover. He's just smoother than the other guys. But they all are good movers. So what they do, they make the guy hit an extra shot that they wasn't hitting. What would be a winner against someone else or would cause someone to have an unforced error against these guys, they bring that ball back and then you make an unforced error. So that's what Andy Murray's his strength is. So let's celebrate him. Scotland, drinks to the sky. England, be proud. Be proud. If this dude ain't in the Hall of Fame yet, which he probably won't be yet, he's still got some work to do. But he's going to definitely get a whole lot of accolades in England because it ain't like they got champions every day. Let's be real. You've never had one since 1973, a number 1 player. So enjoy this, mate. Enjoy this, everybody from England. You guys, drinks to the sky and Doma Sports Talk, and we out. Holla.